Nothing purifies the soul quite like water. In wine, there is truth. In water, wisdom. I suspect the cause of this ailment of yours is an imbalance of humors. Let me just check you for signs of dehydration. Your skin is not red. Your hands are not swollen. Neither are your feet. Have you experienced any muscle cramps or dizziness since this issue flared up? You don't appear to be dehydrated. Most likely you're simply hydrating with the wrong water. It's not the pure, unfiltered, pristine essence. Let me ask you a very serious, important question. From where do you source your water? I believe I already know the answer. This question is more for your contemplation, to draw your awareness to something. The answer is probably Detroit's tap water, Niagara Falls, Poland Springs in Maine, the tap water of Sacramento. It does appear that you're suffering from malhydration. Yes, bad hydration. You're most likely sourcing your water from some very sinister sources. Let me just check your eyes to see just how severe the issue is. Can you open your eyes for me as wide as you can? A little wider. Your eyes are not as bright as they should be. The light in your eyes seems to have receded. And the result is that colors will not seem as vibrant. Patterns will be less activating. Does that resonate with you? Your eyes are a little cloudy. I can see that you haven't been able to process all the nuances of the magic and the mystique that's swirling around you. You show some signs of diminished powers of perception, of seeing into the realms of magic. Can you tell me what you see when I shine the light this way? Over here. Not surprising, really. When you're suffering from malhydration, your powers of clairvoyance, your clairaudience, your clairalliance, your clairgustance, your clairsentience, and your claircognizance become compromised. You seem to be in dire need of a little éclaircissement, the elucidation of something that is unclear. Just to be thorough, I'm going to check your ears. Clairaudience is a sign of trouble. Problems with clairaudience are a sign of trouble. Okay. I'm just going to say something hush-hushy surreptitiously, and you repeat it back to me, okay? All right. In wine, truth, in water, wisdom. Can you repeat that back? Okay. Perhaps this ear is not as compromised. In wine, truth, in water, wellness. Anything? Maybe this ear has been spared from the affliction. In wine, truth, in water, awakening. What did you hear? Apparently the sensors in your ears have been dulled. Just one last check, though. I'm going to send some energy towards you, and I need you to resist. Are you prepared? All right. Go. Resist. 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 Oh, it's very bad. It's very bad. Your ergokinetic powers are enervated to the point of being virtually non-existent. Normally when one comes to me complaining of the symptoms you've described and I've observed, a specific essence is required. For confusion, I almost always recommend moon water. It's renowned for its clairvoyance, releasing properties. For troubles and trials of the heart, of course there's no other remedy. There's no other remedy than the water of Venus, rose water. It offers protection. That power is derived from the thorns of the rose, and the petals have been known to invigorate sleeping passions. For those who feel inert, stuck, there's always the stimulating water of the sun, as enlivening as it is vitalizing. For those who have been battered around and bruised by life's tempests, there's no better hair of the dog than storm water. Because when you're embroiled and embattled, you need the power of the thunder, the lightning, the wind swirling around in you. These are waters you could not find on tap in any tavern, or in any of the stalls of the bazaar or the emporium. You must go to the source. When you go to the source, not a single drop of these powerful properties is lost or dissipated. You see, when the waters of life are pumped through pipes and funneled through filters, nature's healing magic is discharged, and these tonics become tainted. Your vexations and devilments are much more multi-layered, far less singular than most. There's been a depletion of many resources. Those macro and micro psychic resources you need so direly to fulfill your mission, those have been depleted to beyond critical levels. This malhydration of yours, I suspect it began long ago, and its effects have accumulated, amassed, and swelled, and intensified. So the elixir you need must be of the supremest potency and the fastest acting. Right. So let me have a look. Right. Why don't we begin with some florid fluids from the fountain of juvenescence? Yes. I think we should begin with this. So that you can consume in full consciousness, just allow me to read to you the label. For the preservation of their pristine purity, the precise location of the juices of juvenescence must remain shrouded in secrecy. Yet, due to their potency, the waters from this ancient legendary source cannot, in good conscience, be secreted away. Sourced from deep in the wild expanses of an everlasting southern swamp, these juices of juvenation are a mixture of the embryonic fluids in which all the gods and goddesses from east to west were incubated in. Once these fluids have been collected in a vast vat, this sacred essence is commingled with the sweat and tears of the Anunnakis who built this world and the next, and who topped off this water with droplets from the rising tides that submerged the lost continent of Atlantis. It goes on, but it's mostly instructions for dosing, disclosures, and some stuff about salinity levels. It's been sitting for a while, so I need to give it a little mix, a little stir. Everything rolling around there. Co-mingled again. You should feel honored to be receiving such scarce, sought-after essences. It's very potent. Just a few drops will do. If you don't instantly feel the power of these essences seeping into every membrane of every cell in your body, especially if you don't experience the most intense sensations of the juices of juvenescence seeping and saturating every bit of plasma in your cells of your brain, then we'll need to increase the potency of this tincture. Failing that, we'll have to supplement the juices of juvenescence with something with a little more muscle. If you could just open your mouth, and then let's toast to your soul and body's purgation, renewal, and rejuvenation. Open your mouth. Open, open, open. It's natural to feel a little nauseous or dizzy at first because you've just injected every cell in your body with the most powerful cocktail of hormones, antibodies, micro and phytonutrients known to humans and superhumans. So how are you feeling? How are you feeling? You look okay, but we're aspiring for more than just okay, aren't we? Yes, we are. We are. Let's just give it another moment. Yeah, we're looking for a very dramatic, dynamic transformation, are we not? That's what we're trying to catalyze. Not feeling that? Alright, tell you what, I'll give you a few more drops of the juices of juvenescence. But I have a sneaking suspicion that you might require something with a little more vitality and vigor, something more forceful, something more formidable. Anything now? It's very fast acting. It should be instant. And nothing? Okay. There seems to be some sort of resistance coming from without. Does that resonate with you? Does it resonate with you? Okay, I'm sensing some kind of thwarting force. Alright, before I give you this, well, let me give you this and then I'll have a look in your eyes. I'll just have a look in your eyes. Okay, just 3 drops. Ready? Open your mouth. Good. to see how you're doing. Yep, still cloudy and opaque. I may have overestimated the powers of the juices of juvenescence in revitalizing you and purging you of all those toxins. You know, you've probably been ingesting a lot of intoxified water and didn't realize that you'd been intoxified for quite some time. And most of the water, have another look, most of the water available, it can be easily sourced, is very muddied. I see this quite often. Alright. Yeah. Not the effect we were hoping for. Let's try something else. This one. This formulation of fluids is something I have on reserve for only the most incalcitrant cases of malhydration. So rarely do I use it that I'm going to have to make sure that it's still activated. It has been sitting for some time. So let me just give it a little shake. Yeah, I need to reactivate it. Okay, I'm just going to reactivate the bottle. This elixir is composed of the most elusive essences from the liminal realms. The base essence is derived from the primordial waters of the first snow. The first snowfall which drifted down onto land over 2.5 billion years ago. Just sending that energy into the bottle. When the water changed for the very first time there in the mountaintops of the Barberton Greenstone Belt. The essences of the snow, this very first earthly snow, are very powerful in catalyzing spiritual transformations. So that first snow was mixed with the first dew that followed the great deluge, and then an octagram of the water of the river Styx was commingled with this tincture, as well as the tears of an elf experiencing pure joy, purified with laughter, and then one Belshazzar of a fairy's bathwater. And when you mix all of that together, what you have is a magnum of magnificence, majesty, and magic. There we are. What's about to happen is quite personal and rather intimate. What follows after this elixir is ingested. It's sometimes a little embarrassing what occurs immediately after you consume these enchanted essences. So I'm going to bestow upon you this healing tonic once we empower it, and then I'm going to take my leave to give you some privacy. Let me first bless this concoction. Clink, 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 clink. A toast to these precious catalyzing waters. deep within this tainted vessel. Blink, blink, purge away the toxic crystals. Blink, blink, sink every cell and every blood vessel. For clairvoyance, for clairaudience, for clairsentience, and for claircognizance. Drink, drink.